So that cliffhanger got me excited for the next chapter of Choujin X because the masked man has reached to the island and his next opponent is Simon as he's blocking his way to help Azuma as he's fighting against Yobaba because Azuma's having a rough time fighting against her. But seeing the masked man was very unsuspected, especially after chapter 26, when we were able to see Simon's backstory and how the masked man literally destroyed half of his clan and family members. And it seems like he is part of Simon's clan because based on the abilities that he was able to show and how he was able to stop Simon from actually being on his way to go ahead and help Azuma because he's summoning swords. And you can see that he has this tattoo that Simon has when he does and he activates his sword Choujin powers. And so it just kind of indicated that Simon already knows who the masked man is. But the real question is, who is the masked man? Because in the flashback, we saw him was able to have two faces and it kind of looked like he's like a Siamese twin. But then here he only has one face. And what powers and abilities does the masked man actually really do have? Because on one page of the panel, you can see that he has a hand stitched to his arm where the arm is literally looks like it's the ability of Simon's Choujin powers, like clan members' arms. So is it possible that he probably is Simon's clan that went rogue? Or did he is a stranger who's able to collect body parts and use dead Choujin's powers because that's his Choujin ability? So like right after he kills a Choujin, he takes their body part and now he's able to use it. So that's what the masked man is? We don't know for sure because when Simon was actually walking and running towards to go ahead and reach to Azuma, he was just saying that that sword created by the monk Reborn is dead, but there's only one person that's capable of using that power. And then he says, well, hello there. And then it seems like Azuma, he's able to see the name as he looks very irritating. He looks like he's about to cry. And the chapter just ends there. So it seems like the next chapter, we're probably going to get like a backstory, or we probably going to get more details about the masked man. And my guess is that he is part of Simon's clan that went rogue and decided to go ahead and massacre all of his clan members, or try to massacre all of his clan members, and the side of working with Mother. But let's talk about Tokyo, man, because I am so proud of Tokyo. Tokyo has the most huge character development because this man was standing on his own. And I am so proud of him because, of course, how we start off with the chapter as we see that Simon and Tokyo, they're facing against Chandra, and we actually are able to know his name. So Chandra, he goes ahead and uses his smoke Choujin powers to actually try to go ahead and eliminate both of them. But Simon, he was able to use his sword as a whirlwind because he can able enough to physically manipulate the smoke so that way they could go ahead and be safe. So Simon is playing defense, perfect defense. And of course, the lessons that he learned from the training that he has done in the island is actually paying off because he's able enough to pull these techniques, especially to the lessons that, he also learned. So of course, we see the smoke man, he's actually pissed off because he was like, you punk, how dare you pull a sneak attack and trickery on me? So Simon goes ahead and he throws multiple swords Chandra, but he changed his body into smoke, and he did it so fast. So all of a sudden the smoke is all around Simon, and the smoke man appeared himself, and he was about to burn Simon's face off because he grabbed Simon's face. And then Tokyo just comes out of nowhere and he changed his fist into the vulture and punched Chandra in the face. Tokyo is ready for this action. Tokyo actually got up and actually throw some fights and throw some offense. Like normally Tokyo, he'll be in the background, he'll be watching, but this time Tokyo's like, nah, I'm getting in on this action. And Tokyo, that punch that Tokyo gave to Chandra was very powerful because this man landed on the ground and it was actually strong. And Tokyo was just like, dang, like, yeah, this training actually was very much useful because I'm able enough to go ahead and be powerful. Even Simon complimented saying, man, that was a good punch. Thanks for like having my back. But you see Chandra, he's getting really, really pissed off because he was just like, how dare you dirtying my suit, you dirtying my drip. So of course, he's getting fed up and he's going to charge up and he's going to try to go ahead and attack them. And all the smoke around his body is fuming. So Simon's just like, hey, go help Azuma because Azuma, he's just learning his Choujin powers. So of course he's going to have a difficult time facing against these bad guys because these bad guys, they have experience and everything. But then Tokyo is just like, no, I will go ahead and handle Chandra while you go ahead and help Azuma because I can handle Chandra because he's looking after me. He wants me, so I can be able enough to handle him while you go ahead and help Azuma. So Simon, he doesn't want to argue. He was just like, you know what? Fine, I'll go ahead and I'll go help Azuma. And he was just like, by the way, just don't get killed. So that's when we see Simon, he's actually is going towards Azuma, but then he got stopped by the masked man. So during the course of the chapter, we see the results what's happening to Azuma, but let's go ahead and continue focusing on Tokyo because Tokyo, he's running throughout the whole entire island, trying not to get like killed and destroyed. So Tokyo is playing hide and seek or cat and mouse. And it's so funny because Charger is like chasing after him. And of course, Tokyo, he's trying his hardest to like go ahead and hide from him. And then every time that he hides, the smoke man is just like keep finding him. And Tokyo, he's using his beast personification to change his legs so that way he can go much faster. And then so Tokyo is just like, all right, I promise I can do this. I can go ahead and fight him. And then we focus on Azuma as he's having a hard time battling against Yobako because her abilities is able to copy and extend her limbs. And every time that Azuma goes ahead and cut pieces of her limbs or her arms, she's able to grow and make copies of them. Even the limbs that he already cut was already affected because once they landed on the ground, she's able to extend that limb and actually grab Azuma. And then there's a panel where Azuma's body begins to be twisted. Like, bro, like she twisted his arms and his legs like a pretzel to the point where bones and fleshes are popping out. And Azuma is just laying on the ground as she's just laughing, saying that we can't just stop now. It's just only round one. I know you can do it. And Azuma's being irritated because he knows that this fight is either fight or be killed. So he goes ahead and he heals himself as he's prepared for round two. And then he knows for the fact that this person knows martial arts, but she also is stupid and know what she is doing. So he has to be careful with her because he knows for the fact that he can't be reckless. So as Azuma, he goes ahead, he pins her down and grab her into a lock where she won't be able enough to use any of her limbs because Azuma is just thinking that her powers is only connected by her limbs. He didn't think about her making copies and extending her head because that's what she was able to do, because she was able to extend her head to the point where Azuma is like surprised. He's just like, wait, what? You're able enough to go ahead and do that? And he was just like, wait a minute, this whole chokehold was trying to make you stop having oxygen so that the oxygen won't get into your brain. So she was able to make multiple copies of her head, and you see a whole bunch of heads is literally on Azuma, and Azuma is griefly in pain. Like, this panel was so gory. Like, bro, she had multiple heads grabbing and biting Azuma, ripping him into pieces. Like, Azuma is like surrounded and being attacked by zombies because you see the flesh of his stomach and the skin is coming out of his body because they're tearing him to pieces, and all the things just shift as she is just continuously just laughing, and he's just like monster. And Ozma, he got to think of a quick situation. So we go and we focus on Ellie and Momoma and the rest of the other trainers as they're having a difficult time because they know that the main source of like the skeletons that they have to like beat, they have to actually beat the scientist, the guy with the glasses, because his Choujin powers is vibrations, because he's able to control, these dead bodies by using the vibrations of his microphone. So they're all trying to get closer to him so that way they can go ahead and beat him, but they're having a hard time because there's way too much skeletons and they need to work together to actually make a plan. So that's just pretty much the end of this chapter, because boy, seeing Ozma being ripped to pieces by having this lady able to extend and make copies of her limbs was just 100% horrifying. Tokyo, he's standing up and he's going to have his own battle against Charda, the smoke Choujin man, and seeing how Tokyo is stepping up and handling situations on his own, and he's actually is going to handle the situation. And plus two, how he just jumped up and punched him in the face and able to knock him to the ground was just 100% pure awesome. But Simon and being face to face with the masked man, the man who caused him all of this pain, nightmares, PTSD, everything. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so amazing. I just can't wait for the next chapter to drop because it's going to be a banger. I can't wait to see what direction they're going to choose, because there's so many directions you can choose. You can either focus on Ozma, you can focus on Tokyo, or you can focus on Simon. So I'm hoping they go focus on Simon, because more details and more backstory on these characters is just 100% sweet. But I don't know, let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter. What's you guys are favorite moments, what you guys are more hyped to see. Let me know down in the comment section. If you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man, and hope you guys have a wonderful day and be safe out here. Peace.